This is just really something I wanted to talk about. There was a post on Tumblr, well, it was my post on Tumblr, that it was my Saddle Club GIFs, and I made one. It really wasn't, like, sourced. It didn't have, this is the Saddle Club written on it in big letters. It was that one where Red, second season Red, was leading that big fancy gray French import. And I was making fun of it because he's leading the horse from the stall to the paddock, and he's got a full bridle with a flash noseband on it. And I mean, I'm just poking fun at it. It wasn't supposed to be taken seriously, but it was, and I don't really know why. But somebody mentioned that he was leading the horse on the right-hand side, and that became a big deal. And it really shocked me that people took so much issue with that. Unless you're showing, it does not matter what side you lead your horse on. And that's really what I want to talk about, and what I want you guys to know my opinion on, because it doesn't matter. If you're not showing, if you're not in showmanship, if you're in a riding class, lead on the left side. That's, the politically correct thing to do. Do it. If you're not showing, it literally does not matter. And if you've got a trainer that says, I want you to lead on the left side, that's one thing. If you're just doing it because you think you should be doing it, you don't need to. If you want to, go ahead, fine, do what you want to do, it doesn't matter. But leading on the right-hand side is not a sin. I do it all the time. I don't care what side I lead my horse on. I lead whichever side I'm on, and she has manners no matter what side I lead on. And I think that can be a problem with horses that aren't used to being led on the right-hand side. Because, most horses probably aren't going to care, but you get the one horse, it's a little dingy, you lead on the left side every time. You lead on the right-hand side one time, and that horse is like, holy shit, why are you over there? And they lose their mind, and that shouldn't happen. So I really think you need to practice leading on both sides. One, because some horses only have manners on the left side. One, because, maybe you can't lead on the right side. I don't know. Bottom line is, if you are not showing, and you're not at a barn that has really strict rules, it does not matter what side you lead your horse on. Left side is just habit. That's what you're taught. But the horse does not care. It should have manners either way. And that leads into kind of the second thing I wanted to talk about that relates to this, is mounting and dismounting on the left side. The way that came about, if you don't know, knights, way back 10 million years ago, knights had their swords and their scabbards on their left-hand side. So in order to mount their horse, when you mount from the left side, your left foot goes in the stirrup and you swing your right leg over. That's how it's done. Since you've got your sword on the left side, when you put your left foot in the stirrup, that you can do that. You can't mount from the right side, because then you would be putting your right foot in the stirrup and having to swing your left leg over. And your sword would get in the way of that, and you'd probably get killed, and that's not a good thing. So that's how that came about. We don't do that anymore. Again, if you're showing, if you have a really strict barn, whatever, that really wants you to mount and dismount from the left side, then that's your business. If it's up to you, you really should practice mounting and dismounting on the off side. It's hard, let me tell you. It's muscles you're not used to using. It's hard. I've actually seen horses that get scared when their riders dismount from the right side, because they're not used to seeing, human fall off in that direction. Some horses don't care. Bella doesn't care. But again, this is not all about the horse, kind of like leading is. This is about you. I'll tell you right now, I ride in a Western saddle. The cantel's a little bit higher than an English saddle. It's a little bit harder for me to swing my leg over. But still, you're not used to taking your left leg and swinging it like you do your right leg when you get on and get off. It's hard. I've been in ACTHA rides. For those of you who don't know, ACTHA stands for American Competitive Trail Horse Association, and it's a competitive trail, basically. And I do that. I've had an obstacle where they ask you to dismount on the offside and mount back up on the offside, and I couldn't do it because I hadn't practiced it. And it really opened my eyes to, like, you know what, why am I only mounting and dismounting on the left side? You need to practice both. And even if you approach a trainer and say, hey, this is something I want to practice, just in case, whatever, they probably will be okay with it. I know some people are like, well, when are you ever going to have to do that? There's a place in Virginia called Dismounting, and I've never been. I know lots of people that have been. I've heard a lot of things about it, and I probably will never go because of the things I've heard about it. It's it's a lot of trails. Some of them are decent. Some of them are goat paths. There's one trail, I can't remember if it's called Devil's Backbone or Hell's Trail. It's one of those like hell-related things. I will never go on, ever, if I go there, ever. From what I've heard about it, it's, straight up the mountain, and it's rocky, and it's not a good thing. But I'm telling you this because it supports my point. On Hell's Trail, whatever it's called, you've got cliff on your left side, straight up embankment on your right, and the trail's, as wide as your horse. You cannot dismount on the left side. You're going down that cliff. And you got to dismount for whatever reason. You got to pee, your horse, something's happening up the trail, you feel like your horse is tired, you need to get off and walk, any of those things. You got to dismount on the right, and if you can't do it, you might stumble backwards and fall, and then cause a whole bunch of issues for you and your horse. And that's a really extreme example, but it's an example, and it's proof that, sometimes you have to get off on the right side. That's just how it is. That's really my point, you need to practice it. It's something that you really don't realize how hard it is. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just lazy and fat and, I can't swing my right leg over. It's hard for me. It's hard for a lot of people I've talked to. Swinging that left leg over, getting off on the right side, getting on the left side, it's hard. Something you should practice, something you should get your horse used to. I'm all about desensitization. I probably just said that word wrong. But, it's really something you should practice. And that's basically my whole point for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm probably going to be doing more video blogs like this. Maybe if I get around to it and I have lighting like this in my room, which I usually don't. It's usually like orange and gross and like the devil's lair in here. But I'll try. And if I have a Tumblr. There's a link to it on my channel, and I'll be posting this on my Tumblr, so probably most of the people watching this are gonna be following me. But you can follow me there. You can submit things that you want me to talk about. You can submit questions. You can submit anything, really. And I will probably make a video about it because I have nothing else to do. So thanks for watching.